Did you see this week? This meeting with President Trump and Larry Ellison and Sam Altman and the can't pronounce his name, the Mashamasi son, the head of SoftBank. They came together to announce that the United States was going to be behind a $500 billion effort to create a company to put us in the lead of the future of AI. When I saw that, I thought back to June the 29th of 1956. I'm sure you remember that day. That was the day Dwight D. Eisenhower sat down with the Transportation Department and said they would spend $25 billion on creating an internet or an interstate system, an interstate highway system here in the United States. To give you some perspective, that would be equivalent of $290 billion in today's money. Now, what did that do? Well, first of all, I remember it took the price of gasoline all the way up to 19.9 cents a gallon. That's right. That's what it did. And then it created things like McDonald's. It created gas stations up and down the highway. Hell, it created the gas and the oil industry. I mean, and put it into perspective. Gas was 19.9 cents a gallon. That would be equivalent to about $2 a gallon today. But yet, here we are today, and we have these four powerhouses saying we are going to make the U.S. The leader in AI, and we're going to spend $500 billion. That's almost twice what the highway system did to make sure it happens. Now, what are the ramifications of that? What do we think will happen as a result of that? Well, they came right out and said it. We're going to build data centers, okay? Because data centers is what we need to make AI possible and deliver it to you and I. And what that means is mind-blowing. But nonetheless, with that happening, today, Vertiv is down 3%. Vertiv makes the racks that go into the data centers that cool the servers down so that they can operate. Modine, the people who are building, creating prefab data centers, and even talking about submerged data centers, they're down 2.4% today. SciTime is down 2%. Convergent is down 3%, and NVIDIA is down 1.5%. The world doesn't get it. They do not understand what is about to happen and that the whole world is going to be dependent on these data centers. And yet, today, their prices are down. So, what do we do in order to invest properly in what is about to happen? Well, first of all, understand it's not just these folks. Meta today announced they're going to spend 60 to 65 billion in the next 3 years on data centers. He even made some comment that they're going to build a data center that is, one half the size of Manhattan or something like that. Come on, folks. This is the biggest thing that has come down the pipe. I went and I gathered all the information I could on what has happened in the last 3 days, and I've put it into, a 5-page summary that I want to make available to you that will give you the insights of who's going to benefit from this and what is it going to change in your life. Now, where is the biggest benefit from all these data centers and all this data going to come from? Is it going to be Salesforce giving some major business a better means by which to send out invoices and emails to their clients? No, that's not the big winner. It's the Buc-ee's. It's the McDonald's. It's the Holiday Inns of the highway days. That's who's going to benefit in today's days. And where are those? Well, to my way of thinking, the number one is going to be medical. We're hearing, and that's where Oracle comes into this whole play. They are the keepers of most of the medical data around the United States and probably around the world. So, like me, I've developed a heart condition. I've seen 3 doctors. I've seen my general practitioner, I've seen a cardiovascular surgeon, and I've seen a heart surgeon, and they had my life is dependent on their opinions. That's not good enough, folks. That's just not good enough. What if I had all the data in the world of every heart condition that anybody had in the world at my exposure? Well, that's what Larry Ellison and Oracle are going to make available. That's what Sam Altman's going to make available. That's what SoftBank's going to make available to you and I. And the biggest change in our world is going to be in medical. Then you go from there, and it's going to be in education. Why should I be taught marketing in a college by someone who's never run a major marketing company in the world? Why shouldn't I have access to the marketing director of Amazon or of Meta? Why shouldn't I have that? Well, I will, as a result of what we were told, that they're going to spend $500 billion in making AI available to us. But first, we got to get the data centers. But first, we got to build the highways. That's what's happening. And if you can figure out the companies, and oh, I know that Meta, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, NVIDIA are all a part of it, but so are Applied Digital, Nebitus. I just did a video yesterday on the Google of Russia that's now going to become the data centers of Europe. And then there's Iran, the big data center that's down in Texas. And these people are saying, yeah, that's where we're going to build these data centers because that's where electricity is available. That's where wind is available. That's where the data centers can best benefit us. Mark's building one in Louisiana, as he said, the size of half of Manhattan. So then, why aren't we investing in Vertiv, in Chart, in Modine, in Coherent, in Credo? Why aren't we investing in these people who all the things they make are essential to make the data centers work? Yeah, Meta, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, NVIDIA are important, but these are where we're going to make the big money. And then you've got the foundries, which includes Intel and Skywater, and then the change from silicon to the newest, that's Navitas. This is an investment opportunity of a lifetime if you understand what they were talking about, where they're going to spend $500 billion over the next 4 years. They're promising to get it done before Donald leaves office. Okay? If you want a concise, it's not concise, it's 5 pages report that I've generated on what the implications of that meeting in the White House 3 days ago was all about, then go to the description in here and go to the link to the 14-day free trial, and you'll go to my cheat sheet and my 3-year projection, and you'll find a link to this report that will give you a breakdown of what they're talking about, where they're going to spend the money, and who's going to benefit. It's all there. But why don't you take advantage of it? Again, if with what you know today, and you had heard on June the 29th, 1956, that the United States was going to build an interstate highway system. So you didn't have to any longer drive on single-lane highways and get stuck behind a semi-truck and then have the death wish to try to get around it in North Carolina on your way to Florida. I've lived this. I've lived this. I know what that feels like, sitting in the back seat of my dad's car at Plymouth, and he'd go out and pull back, go out and pull back, and then he'd go out and he'd hit that accelerator and go as fast as he could, which wasn't that fast. And we'd pray to God that there wasn't another semi coming from the other direction, and we could get on to stop at the Holiday Inn where they had colored TV and a swimming pool. That's the world of the 1950s and the 1960s. And in the 2040s, we'll look back and we'll write down this week and say, that's when they brought AI to the world, brought education, brought cures for cancer, brought the changes that we'll look back and say, that was the rebirth of the United States as they created their position in the world of AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and quantum computing. That was the day. This is the week. You must understand it. Go into the description, come to the website, get your copy of this report. It's free. Spend 14 days on the website, and you make a decision. Do you want to participate in the future or don't you? Do you want to know where the next Buc-ee's is going to show up? I'll talk to you more about this. This is damn exciting.